When a sailing vessel leaves or enters Lake Ontario, the captain faces an important decision: how to get from the open ocean or onto the open ocean. There are three main options, each with its own challenges and rewards. The first option is the St. Lawrence River, a deep water passage that leads northeast through Canada, past Montreal and Quebec City, before reaching the Atlantic. This route offers breathtaking scenery and fewer height restrictions, but it's a longer journey with strong currents and tidal considerations. The second option is the Erie Canal, which cuts through New York State, connecting to the Hudson River. This route requires stepping the mast, lowering it for bridge clearance, but it provides a direct inland waterway to New York City and is a popular choice for sailors heading to the Bahamas. A variation of the Oswego Canal, which takes you through the Great Loop, which branches off the Erie Canal and flows into Lake Ontario. From here, boats can follow the Erie west or continue southward towards the Gulf of Mexico via the Great Loop. Each route offers its own adventure. For my journey, I chose the Oswego and Erie Canals, bringing me here to the Hudson River as I make my way back north towards Catskill, New York. In this video, I step my mast and I talk about what it takes to do that, where to do it, how much it costs, and I'm going to talk about some of the pitfalls and some of the things that I've learned doing this twice now. So stick around. If you intend on pulling your mast down and leaving Lake Ontario or entering Lake Ontario, this is the video for you. So let's get into the details. My name is Michael Potts and I live on a Scepter 36-foot sailboat, and this is where I am today, just south of Catskill, New York. With my mast still up, I headed all the way up to Catskill and dropped the hook just outside the marina there. Beautiful morning here in Catskill, and I'm gonna go in right now and get some things that I ordered from Amazon. The mist on the river here, all that warm water hitting all the cold air here. Look at this beautiful yacht right here, nice one. So a lot of work to be done to get this mast down. I gotta take all this stuff off, all the rigging, everything has to be put in place. And somehow we're gonna get this mast horizontal so we can get up the river here. We're 32 nautical miles away from the canal, the Hudson River Lock and Dam, and then the Erie Canal. So we're gonna have to get in there somehow and get out of it by the 16th. So we are now under a time crunch. So I'm a bit worried because he said there's 5 boats ahead of me in Catskill to take the mast down, so I need to start working now. I'm gonna go in there right now and get the parts and take a look around and see what's going on and get this organized. Let's get to work here. On my way down to the Bahamas, I had my mast put up here in Catskill a few years ago. I had it done at Riverview Marina, which is no longer offering that service. The only marina that offers stepping services in Catskill is called Hoppo Nose Marina. But before we get into the mast removal, let's talk about the history of Catskill. Nestled along the banks of the Hudson River, Catskill, New York is a town steeped in history and maritime tradition. In the 19th century, it was a thriving center for shipbuilding, trade, and industry, with schooners and steamships frequenting its docks. But Catskill is best known as the home of Thomas Kail, the founder of the Hudson River School of Painting, whose stunning landscapes helped define American art. Today, it's a favorite stop for sailors making their way through the Hudson Valley. Offering full-service marinas, a historic waterfront, it's the perfect place to step a mast before heading west through the Erie Canal. With its rich past and vibrant community, Catskill remains a gateway between the waters of the Atlantic and the inland waterways of America. All right, the guy said it's $8 a foot, which is like $700 for me for an hour's work for these guys. So I don't get it. Last time I stayed at Riverview, Mike put my mast up for $360 and I stayed there for 2 days. So and I bought diesel. So something wrong here. I'm gonna do the math here. This is a crazy amount of money. I got the sails down and folded up. So last time I had the mast resting on the stanchion here. It's actually bent. You can see that. I don't want to do that this time. This thing needs to be fixed. This time we're going to do it a bit different. The mast is going to be on an angle, I think. This might not happen. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen on an angle over the solar panels. I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm going to put some sort of X there and an X there. Okay, that way I have room in the cockpit to maneuver, and I can access the dinghy. I think that's the best thing to do. So what I'm going to do is start taking the boom off, move all these jugs, and just see what I can get accomplished here. Because they're already, I'm pretty sure it's going to be done today. So let's get at her. If I could offer up one piece of advice when you're taking your mast down so it's not a disaster, and it is this: listen to the guys who are there to help you. These guys do this every day, all day long, and they know the tricks on how to keep your mast safely secured to your vessel while you're moving under the bridges in the canal. I'm ready to take the mast down now. There's one boat ahead of me. It's now 1 p.m. So it looks like I'll get the mast down today, which is great. So take a look here. I got one large post. The mast is going to be sort of on a slant all the way to there, and that should cover it. I'm hoping that's how it works anyway. We're gonna have to see. I got my big straps. All the things are taken away. I just gotta loose this rigging here. That's next. I'm gonna do that next. So these two will stay. These, you gotta loosen these ones just in preparation. And it's gonna go quick. They're just, you know, it's gonna be really quick. So stick around, see what it's like to take a mast down. This is what you gotta do if you wanna be on the Great Lakes. You know, you want to come in from the ocean beyond the Great Lakes, this is what you're going to have to do here in Catskill. This is where it's all done. There's no other really place to do it. There is one more place, and I'll talk about that later. But this is the spot. If you want to get her done, that crane's the only one around. All right, I'm next in line here. Just talking to the camera. I'm next in line here, and let's get in there and get this done. All right, that's it. She's strapped down. I'm gonna go pay at the office now. For what it's worth, it's 638 Canadian dollars. It only took 2 hours, so sailing ain't cheap. All right, guys, so that concludes the mast down. It's paid for. It came to essentially $500 American, all right, with tax. So, which is like $750 Canadian. So, ain't cheap. I'm gonna have to do it again in like 5 days to put it back up, right? So
Anyway, if you want to have your mast taken down here at Hop O Nose Marina, you can talk to Sean. I'll leave the number down below right there. Call Sean. He's a really reasonable guy. The guys here are great. I totally recommend this place. They did a great job. So we now have 6 days to get back into the canal to get to Lake Ontario, literally as of tomorrow morning. So we got to get out of here. I might even do some, we'll see, but I might even get out of here tonight and head towards the locks. All right.
So there is a private marina, a club just north of here, where you can pay a flat rate and they just let you use the crane. That's a possibility if you have crew with you. Now, I'm not going to name this marina because I've never been there and I don't want to recommend it, but if you look around just north of Catskill, New York, is a private yacht club and marina where you can use their crane. I think it's $75.
Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Wow. Oh my God. She ain't a sailboat right now. She's a motorboat now for a bit. For 5 days. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about why did I pull the mast down? Why am I going back to Canada? It's a good question. So, I have to, because of what I want to do with this boat next. I can't tell you quite yet. I don't want to tell you quite yet what I have planned, but it's bigger than anything I've ever done on this channel, okay? In order to do that, I need to be in Canada. My B1, my visa here in the US is done. I can't be here, okay? I'd be an overstayer, and I can't break the law. You know, especially not on YouTube. All right, and I know everyone's saying, well, there's a lot of immigrants in the U.S. right now. Why would they care? They care because of the boat. All right, so they want me to register this vessel here. I could probably not say anything and no one would find out, but eventually I'd get pulled over by the Coast Guard and they'd question me, and I don't want to be put in that situation. All right, and I have an opportunity to make some money quickly over the winter, so that we can go out again. I mean, there's only one way out of Lake Ontario. There's a hint, all right? Well, there's two. I'm taking the one right now, but there's also another way, all right? St. Lawrence River, all right? So anyway, the bottom line is this. After all this time out here, I'm definitely low on funds. I need to go and work. That's just a fact of life. The channel, the videos will still be going. I have a ton of content to release. So don't worry about that. Anyway, I don't want to rant too much. So what we're doing is the Hudson River Lock and Dam is essentially 30 nautical miles. Because the tide's going this way, I'm gonna sail until the sun goes down and drop my hook. And then on the next tide, I'll blast off that. It'll probably be 20 nautical miles by then. And we'll get into the Hudson River Lock and Dam. All right, and then I have 5 days to get through the entire Erie and Oswego Canal, which is not a lot. It's just enough time. Anything goes wrong, I'm screwed. All right, this engine breaks down, or I need to have a part mailed in, I'm done for. And it's not a good situation. So fingers crossed, stick around. This is gonna be very interesting. Anyway, let's continue on up the river. Look at the mist today, isn't that beautiful? It's the morning. We are 31 nautical miles away from the canal. I think we can do it today. So let's start the engine and get up the river here and get into the lock. It's got to be done. We got to get back to Lake Ontario. So let's go.
I ended up motoring all day long, all the way up the Hudson River to the Troy Lock and Dam, and just made it for the last lock to get through.
Right, I'm sure I look ridiculous right now with this hat on, but whatever. It's absolutely freezing. I'm not used to this sort of weather. We are approaching the Troy Lock right now, the first lock of the lock system. Let's get into the lock. There's a big old ship in there. He's gonna see if he can fit me in though. I'm gonna stand by on channel 1-3 and it'll let me know if I can enter the lock. All right, let's go through.
After all that time down south, I officially made it to the entrance of the Erie Canal. All I need to do now is get through the lock system up into the Oswego Canal, onto Lake Ontario, and cross over back to my home port, finishing this crazy journey that I've been on for the last 100 videos. If you're really enjoying this content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You can join my Patreon. The link is in the description down below. It really helps me out. In next week's video, we will find out what it's like to go through the lock system in the Erie Canal. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Captain Michael signing out. I'll see you next week.